What is it, YouTube? Joe here from Zephyrwargames, and I'm going to bring to you guys an updated combo guide for Gammamon. This is going to be utilizing all the cards that we've been received as of the last upload. Most importantly, the cards from EX10, as well as cards from BT22. A lot of these add some nice little niche little text and combos that you can utilize, as well as some more hyper quote-unquote combos that you can also do within this deck that allows you to just get additional lines of play, additional ways that you can build and construct your very own Gammamon decks. And I kind of want to just put them all in a video, as you guys seem to like these kind of combo guides, and I do like in making them as well, as I do like to support all players out there utilizing and trying to play decks that I also currently and just generally enjoy playing. So let's get into the first combo. So the first combo in this deck is a very nice and simple one. It's essentially just utilizing or showing you how you can utilize Wezen Gammamon within this deck in ways to just be more memory efficient if you're struggling to start your climbs from the back. So this was something that fellow viewers and commenters posted in one of my previous videos, and I've just been very thoroughly enjoying the fact that Wezen can do this and allow this in my deck. And again, I just wanted to show you guys so you can visibly see it as well. This is just a nice simple thing that you can just on-play Wezen Gammamon and get its full benefits. So you can just simply, if you're like even just one memory, you can just on-play Wezen Gammamon for a simple memory of 4, allowing you to tuck a Gammamon underneath to give him a plus 3000 DP and blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. And then if you have things like the BT21 hero, you can suspend this to gain an additional draw and memory, essentially making Wezen Gammamon a hard drop level 4 for only 3 memory. It's nice and efficient. It's a small little niche thing that you can just do in this deck and utilize. I just wanted to share with you guys. Another one that you can do is just how Chaos Gammamon can be beneficial into your deck. This is one of the things that I kind of like hyper focused on when these two cards first got dropped and first got announced, and in a way that kind of like led to be Chaos Gammamon more stronger to me. But in kinds of play, this kind of effect does still happen and does still come up, but not as much as it has been doing lately. But again, I just wanted to show you guys how Chaos Gammamon can be effective in your deck, and depending on how you want to construct your deck means that Chaos Gammamon could essentially potentially unbrick you and try and get you back into the game, or even start your game very strong and very early. So it's just a simple thing of just like promoting your Chaos Gammamon and start attacking with it, because every time you attack with it, he gets to essentially load a Gammamon to draw you additional card. And then every time you do, if you're playing the RB1 Gurumon, it's also just going to draw you a card. So you've got 2 draws there. And if you have a 21 hero lying around, you're essentially getting another draw and additional memory as well. Meaning that just by turning Chaos Gammamon sideways, you're netting your you're netting your hand of 3, as well as just a 3 additional memory. And depending on what you load underneath Chaos Gammamon, if it's like another one, he's doing a quick check for jamming. And then you can just start climbing into your higher stages, essentially making even your EX10 regular Smon much more stronger, as you can just now evolve into a regular Smon for 5, loading another Gammamon from trash, and then you get to attack again just by being suspended, because you now have 5 sources. It's just a nice quick way that you can potentially get 2 quick checks as well. And I think Chaos Gammamon could be very strong in doing that, depending on your type of build. So now I want to show you what the new Gurus Gammamon can do for you. Again, none of these combos have to start with this Gammamon in particular, by the way. It's just something I just want to show you, because I just really like the artwork. But you can, obviously, depending on which Gammamon you have, you can extend these kind of plays in terms of what your board can essentially end up with. I just wanted to show you why this new Gurus Gammamon is still very strong for the deck, and what kind of combos that you can utilize in terms of getting you back into the game if you're struggling to keep hold or reclaim board state. So if you just have a little Gammamon lying around, you can just evolve it for 2 into the new Gurus Gammamon, trashing 2 cards from your deck and then loading a source. So you can load a source essentially like Gurus Gammamon from BT21, for example. And now because you gained an evolution sources, depending on what Gurumon you have, you can then gain additional draw. But now you can evolve into a regular Smon from your hand or trash for a cost minus of 1. One thing you can do that I really like doing right now is evolving into the BT21 regular Smon, allowing you to trash a card with Gamma Text in hand, give one of your opponent's Digimon collision, and make it attack. So now when they start attacking you, which they have to, you can now block with this regular Smon, with the retaliation on your in your inherent, getting their guy deleted, and then you get to spawn back a Gammamon from your trash or a kind of Icemon. So we can just now spawn back the Gudus Gammamon that we just had in our sources, using our on play to load the Gudus Gammamon that we had underneath regular Smon, and then popping another guy on the opponent's field. This means that now, if this guy doesn't get removed, we now have a raid Digimon on our field already at the Gecko, and then we can just evolve into any level 5, start doing raid and retail if we really need to, just removing more opponents' bodies. It's a nice, unique way to get rid of our opponent's stuff. Yes, it's not potentially doing checks at your opponent's security, but managing to control what opponent keeps on having means that we can just be very strong and effective in terms of keeping the board in a way that we like. So having raid on this guy and just being able to evolve quickly makes this a very strong Guru Gammamon for the deck. So now I want to share with you guys just a big combo that you can do with Gammamon, and why all these new ways that Bandai's been making Gammamon, in terms of its color combinations, allowing us to add and utilize certain tools and texts in our deck to get very strong, quick push plays that your opponent's probably not even going to be expecting for you to do. So this is going to be utilizing cards like Promo Hero 80, Promo Hero 62, as well as things like Fire Rocket. It's much easier with Hero, as it is a tamer that can suspend itself. Utilize, so Arcana Viceman can be very good to do its thing, as well as utilizing things like offense training and memory boosts, so you can start climbing your stack back up much more quicker, and then things like Strongest of Brothers to even go much more faster. So it's just having things like your Gammamon in the back and evolving into a Gurus Gammamon from RB1. If you have this already in the back, it's just much more efficient, as you can now just promote your Gurus Gammamon and evolve into kind of Icemon here, just for simple free memory. Kind of Icemon can then, depending on what else you have in the field, can just get much more stronger. But at the moment, it's already at 10,000. So now we can start swinging with kind of Icemon, and then we can tap our hero here. Hero is going to grant kind of Icemon an additional security check, and in kind of Icemon, because now a tamer got suspended, it's also going to get another security check because it's going to gain an additional 2,000 DP, putting it back up, putting it all the way up to 12k. So now it's going to have 2 checks at 12,000 DP. Very, very strong, and depending on what you have in your stack, you can have things like House Gammamon for jamming. If you started with a Guru Gammamon from 21 and you loaded this guy, you can maybe even get more sources. If you have the RB1 hero, you can get that as well, an additional another additional 2,000. So you can keep on going on and on. But at the moment, you're doing 3 checks at your opponent's security with this kind of ice mod. Now, it's very important that you have this Guru Gammamon underneath, because now you can use the end of attack effect to destroy yourself, popping something with 12,000 DP on your opponent's build at minimum, and now you get to spawn back a Gammamon from our trash. So now we can spawn back this Gammamon. Very, very good. Or any Gammamon, it literally doesn't matter. But now we can evolve using our, if we need the additional memory, we can use things like an offense training going into this Gurus Gammamon, using its effect to load an additional source. So already we're going to have a Gurus Gammamon in the trash. Let's say we have like a Battle Gammamon. So we most likely have Gammamons and Gurus Gammamons, or that's just depending on my current build right now. So let's just say we load Gulus Gammamon just randomly. And then we can just proc our strongest of brothers to evolve into a Gamma text card in our hand for nothing, which is very, very strong. And I seem to have misplaced them. We're just going to evolve into the brand new Regulusmon for no memory. Regulusmon now just needs to have two things that can tuck underneath. So again, it can just be more Gammamons, it can be more Goose Gammamons, but all depending on what your trash has. It can be Wezens, Bettles, Cowses, like literally all those kind of different Gammamons underneath, but you want to have it so it gets 5 sources. Now that it has sources, we can start popping our opponent's Digimon. We can pop another body. So let's just put these 2 cards over here, essentially 2 bodies that we've just been removing. We can then, because if we not done all this, essentially we've done all this still keeping turn, this guy has rush, so it can swing, doing another security check. And then we can just do anything else to pass our turn, and at end of turn, because this guy has 5 sources, he gets to do another security check. This can be very, very strong, as you can see, doing 5 checks very, very quickly. And it's something that probably your opponent's not going to be able to suspect or just see coming in general. So it's just something that I really thought could be really, really good. And it could be really customizable on how you wanted to even end your turn. Because before you even do your final check, you can just do things like if you have enough cards in the trash, if the trash is very big enough. Bear in mind we are milling off our EX10 Gulus Gammamon. We can do something like hard playing a promo Gallantmon, deleting our stack. And then or deleting our opponent's stack, and then we can swing with this Gallantmon, doing another check, and at the end of turn we can just do another check with Gulus Gammamon there while being suspended. Bear in mind as well, if we do delete this stack, we are gaining additional tamers and everything of that kind of nature. So it literally just all depends on what you want to do and what your hand is and what you can utilize. But being able to just do 5 checks and then still having a guy on the board, which means that if we do have cards in our hand, we can do things like acing into a Blackwall Ace, popping the Tamers, acing to Beelzemon Ace, doing a Digivolve and deleting further Digimon. We can just do so much depending on what you have. And because of the way that they have been color coordinating all the Gammamon cards, we are able to now utilize text like offense training, like things like Fire Rocket, and so on and so forth. So that is essentially that combo. I'm just going to show you one more extra combo that you can do in this deck, thanks to things like Regulusmon and things of that nature, just so you can again show you what else that you can do to get those final checks. So the last tech I want to share with you guys is just another thing that I'm even thinking of adding into my deck as just like a nice one-off. Just another way to either close out games or just get again hyper fast turns that again your opponent's just not going to be able to suspect to see coming. So it's just going to be utilizing just the tamers that you have in your deck. You have so many tamers that you use in the deck, all being searchable, all being able to be played for free consistently, that you should be able to have like some amount of tamers laying around. Obviously, if you have all these tamers, you're just doing phenomenal. But any like 1 or 2 of these tamers just makes like your plays a little bit more. So we can just like bump up any of these tamers into a Goonimon from BT21. So if we don't know what a Goonimon does, it is sort of a Gammamon card in the sense that when you Digivolve, you may place a Digimon card with a hybrid or hero trait from your hand or trash as this bottom evolution card, or under any of your tamers with inherited effects. So the hero cards that we have in our deck are essentially either Seriousmon or Gammamon. So we can just load a Gammamon underneath, allowing us to proc things like hero here for additional memory and a +1 draw. But because we just now gained a source, we can now proc Strongest of Brothers, allowing one of our Digimon to evolve into a Gamma text card in the hand without paying cost. So now we can just evolve into our brand new regular Smon for free, and then we can just load 2 additional sources underneath. Literally can be any 2 sources that any sources that you want. It can be up to 5 with different names, but again, most prominently you're going to have maybe a Goose Gammamon in your trash and a Gammamon in your trash. Well, now we have 5 sources, so now we can swing. If this tamer was played on this turn, regular Smon has Rush, which is very, very strong. So we can just do a swing. We can proc this hero if we have it around, doing 2 checks with regular Smon. And at end of turn, once we pass turn, we can just do another 2 checks with regular Smon if we have this hero, or things like Fire Rocket, to then just do the last checks, because end of turn he gets to swing if you have 5 or more sources. If you have a combination of hero and Fire Rocket, it's even better, because you do 2 checks with the hero on your rush turn, and into pass turn you can just do Fire Rocket, giving an additional security attack, and now you're doing 3 checks with regular Smon. So that's 5 checks in just a single turn, which is absolutely nuts. So that's just something that you can just do utilizing other techs that we can add to our deck, like the Yourplaymat, which again, I'm now even thinking of adding it to my own deck. But that, guys, is our combo video for Gammamon post EX10. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope it gives you thoughts on what you can do with your own Gammamon strategies. I know a lot of this is probably self-explanatory, a lot of it is probably simple, but there's just some things that you can just utilize in your deck now that can just up the ceiling on what your deck can be. A lot of the combos I believe I showed before were a bit more control focused and just what like Gammamon likes to do. But this one just kind of like emphasizes how aggressive this deck can now be, depending on how you want to build it, which I don't normally do, because sometimes hyper aggressive builds don't pan out well for me. So I kind of like stay away from them, and I kind of like do a bit more control with medium range aggression. But I'm trying to like dabble into the more hyper aggression, as the game is kind of like guiding towards that sometimes. And I kind of want to like show these combo guys that you can be hyper aggro with Gammamon, just literally just depending on how you build it. So always like, comment, and subscribe. If you have other combos and strategies and techs that you play in your Gammamon that I haven't shown off yet, post them in the comments below so everyone can see and everyone can know and everyone can find out, and we can make Gammamon, again, the best that we can. Like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.